Mega Man-athon out of context, everyone. Approximately 1/4 horse. Ah, sorry. Having your tie positioned correctly for speedrunning events is very important. If this isn't set up right, I'm not going to be able to play this game well. They can't see the Magnemite. You need to make sure they can see the Magnemite.
Just hold it over your head.
Thank you.
Okay, now just stay like that for the whole run.
Perfect.
Wait. There we go. Even better.
Oh, that's so much better. Oh, hey, there's a screen on screen. Okay, let's do the thing. Finally, apologies for the setup delay. It turns out everything is kind of awful and computers hate all of us. But you know, we did our best with it. Actually, can I get game audio on my headset down a little bit so I can think? That's not a screen with audio. I'll just, yeah. Fun fact, when I'm not speedrunning, I'm a percussionist, so. Annoying D-pad percussion is my specialty. I don't think I actually remember any passwords for this game.
Just, like, draw a picture.
Okay. All right, let's play some Pictionary.
Okay, B2.
Okay, B2.
F6.
F6.
Okay, C3. A1.
Okay. Is it a diagonal line?
No spoilers. D4. E5.
That's it. That's the maximum.
No. We're not done. We're not done.
You can't draw any more bubbles.
Wait, you only get 5 pixels?
Apparently.
Can you make a smiley face? You can make a really small smiley face.
Probably.
I hope this is what people are watching for, is color a Mega Man.
That does not look like a smiley face.
No.
Now let's just,
Yeah,
sort of
close enough.
sly smiley face. Okay, anyways, I think we should probably play video games. Don't give me password error, just give me the title screen. Okay, whatever. When you need something done, you have to do it yourself. Honestly, video games. Anyways, hi, let's do a speed run. Now that we're done playing Pictionary and fuddling with computers and positioning Pokemon plushies. Hi, my name's ProtoMagicalGirl. My pronouns are it, and she, her, and today I'm gonna be playing Mega Man 6. On the couch with me I have Witch's Hex and Ploff27, and we're gonna play the best classic Mega Man game, which is this one, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Mega Man 6. I already said that. It was released in 1993 by Nintendo and Capcom. Nintendo actually had a hand in making this game for the US, fun fact. So the important thing you need to know about Mega Man 6 is that this game's mechanics are a bit different than the other classic Mega Mans you might be familiar with. In this game, you cannot jump out of a slide. Instead, you have to cancel the slide first by either pressing the jump button, which doesn't make you jump but does make you stand up, or turning in the opposite direction that you were sliding. This is going to be important because we have to do it literally everywhere all the time, and that's just kind of the main point of this speedrun. This room's improv room.
Yes, and?
And it's over. So we're starting with Windman stage because in the route for this game, we're just going to be going weakness order, but the first thing we want to accomplish is getting Flame Man's weapon. So obviously we'd go to Flame first, except doing Flame Man with the Buster is really slow. So we're gonna do Wind first. This actually leaves us with a fairly front-loaded run in terms of our Robot Master Order. We have some really difficult stages really early on that are gonna require some very technical Buster usage in order to get through things that they really want you to have special weapons for. Not quite, that's fine. So in this game, as far as the Buster is concerned, your highest damage per second is fully charged shots that do 3 damage. The half charge only does 1 damage, rendering it literally exactly completely useless except for one specific type of enemy, because it has a slightly wider hitbox. The Buster does, that is. Anyways, now we're fighting Windman. So like I said, we're going to be using fully charged shots. In this game, bosses have a full second of iframes, so we're just going to be chilling out, doing the wind dance. That was not a fully charged shot. That one was. That's okay. You need one uncharged shot anyways, so... Perfect. Fun fact, if you jump in the right corner of a boss room after the boss explodes, it reduces lag. I don't know why that happens, but it sure does. So now we have defeated the Papanda RTA boss. Now we're on to Flame Man stage, the stage that my hands hate the most.
This stage is a lot of very tight slide cancels.
Yeah.
Pretty much the whole thing. The first room particularly looks really slick if done well.
Yeah, we like to call the first room of Flame Man stage the final exam of Mega Man 6 movement, because if you can do this well, then you can basically play the entire game. Except for the part where you need to learn the rest of the game, but you know, the thought is there. So let's see if I pass the exam. Hey, we did it. So yeah, a lot of people think the movement in 6 is, you know, kind of clunky, and honestly, they're not super wrong. But once you get really good at slide canceling, it feels really good. We didn't get to do that, that's fine. So the most important enemy in this stage that we're gonna be seeing is these flippy guys. This one's name is Roland. Hi, Roland. Thanks, Roland.
What a pal.
Oh my gosh.
That oil in the pits there, it slows you down quite a bit.
Yeah,
which
but
you
what's
see
more
here.
important is if one of the fire-dropping enemies that are literally everywhere drops fire on it, it becomes an instant death pit. Ideally, we don't want that to happen. This song is so good. So these big torch guys take 4 damage, so usually we're going to be doing 1 fully charged shot and 1 uncharged shot. If we miss the fully charged shot, we have to, you know, quickly mash out 4 uncharged shots just like that. A nice little backwards damage boost there. Coming in under the wire. Tap the oil. My hands are getting tired.
Ooh.
We're
That
fine.
was
It's
very
fine.
close.
Everything is okay. This stage is really taxing on hands. I think I already mentioned that. It's okay though. Now we have Windstorm, which is Windman's weapon, and we're gonna be using it to take down Flame Man. Flame Man is a jumpy boy, like a lot of the bosses in this game are. But that's no big deal. Good. And done. Cool. So after boss kills in most Mega Man games, you want to be standing in the middle of the room so that Mega Man can just teleport out instantly instead of having to walk across the screen. Now we're done with probably the 2 most difficult Robot Master stages. Or at least the 2 most intense. From here now we're going to go to Blizzard Man, who's the Canada Robot Master. Shoutouts to Canada. Unless this stage goes poorly, in which case, Canada, I blame you for this. Now we have Flame Man's weapon, which is the best weapon in this game. It's this nice little, like, arcing fire shot that when it hits the ground, it creates this column, and it does a ton of damage to literally everything. It's really useful. Nice little A cancel right there. Then we're going to A cancel and then turn around there. Because if you just try to turn around cancel, you won't actually turn around, you'll just cancel. So you have to cancel and then do the turnaround to get that damage boost. Then we're gonna slide here, take that one down, here switch to the best weapon in the game. Do that, and dang it. That strat is really cool when done right, but it's a relatively difficult jump to land, and it's no big deal. So, I'm gonna do a trick called a ride end right now. Easy. This is the butter sub. It's called such because it looks like butter, and also if you get it quickly, it's smooth as butter. That was the margarine pit, because it wasn't butter. The trick Raiden that I mentioned, named after a Mega Man 6 speedrunner named Raiden the Quick, who developed this technique of you can do a perfect length slide across a 4-tile block and then jump. without having to cancel. And so there's a lot of those in this run, and we call them right ends. You have a fair amount of room to do them, but they're still relatively precise, so I usually take a little bit of caution in lining them up. I'm not doing super great on ammo, so I'm gonna damage boost here. I didn't get the turnaround boost, that's okay. Gonna perform the fabled trick here, bomb skip, because we're going to skip bomb skip. And so now we're into Blizzard Man. So the deal with Blizzard Man is that Blizzard Man has 2 attacks, throwing snowflakes and rolling around like a dummy. We don't want him to roll around because he's invincible when he rolls around, and it's completely random. Like that. So we just get to kind of chill out and see if Blizzard Man is feeling kind. We don't have... Oh, no, we have exactly enough ammo. It's fine. Perfect. Perfect.
Perfect.
Totally
I didn't
perfect.
notice a single mistake there.
Honestly.
That was pretty cool.
Thanks.
I just blame RNG.
All right, so now we're moving on to Plant Man stage. Plant Man is the robot master who's supposed to represent nebulously South America, I guess. This game's plot, actually. Let's talk about the plot, because the lore is important and you gotta respect it. So the plot of this game goes such that there is an international robot fighting tournament, and when it gets to the top 8, Mr. X, who's definitely not Dr. Wily, takes the top 8 robots and uses them to take over the world, because that's something Dr. Wily wouldn't do, obviously. So now we have to go take down these 8 robots and then go fight Mr. X in his castle. I really love how, like, much, originality and new life they breathed into the plot with this game, where there's, like, 8 robots in a castle. Like, that's really, really cool. Switch to Flame now. Menus in this game take a really, really long time, so we will not be doing a lot of them. 6 hits to kill this thing. I usually do 3 and 3 because I'm terrible at mashing. So yeah, the Flame Blast is a really useful weapon, but it's rather difficult to hit with. You have to line up your shots pretty precisely, but when you do, it destroys everything in your path. This one's a little bit easier because we get to slide into the room, which puts us just a little bit closer to it. Now we're going to be attempting a trick called Plant Forms. This is one of the harder tricks in this entire run. There are these platforms in this stage. You're not supposed to jump on them when they're closed, so they'll try to push you off. But if you jump off of them fast enough, you're fine. Literally free.
Nice.
I swear that's harder than it looks.
That is very hard.
That trick is, like, almost impossible.
Oh, I forgot to shoot that one. Cool. All right, so now, luck permitting, we are going to manipulate Plant Man's pattern. So the way Plant Man works is he's going to jump and then basically run after Mega Man after throwing his shield. If you're on the exact same pixel as Plant Man, when Plant Man decides how far to run, Plant Man will run infinitely. Like this. And by infinitely, I mean just for a really long time.
He's training for his marathon.
Cool. The trick with that manip is if Plant Man jumps to the right, it's really easy. If Plant Man jumps to the left, it's not, and I don't remember how to do the left manip, so I'm glad he jumped to the right, honestly. So now we have the Rush Jet adapter. In this game, you actually don't have Rush Jet or Rush Coil. Instead, you get these super cool, like, Sentai-style Rush Mega Man-like suit fusions, and they're amazing. You won't see one until the next stage after this one. So this is Tomahawk Man. Tomahawk is an extremely racist, terrible robot master design, so we're going to murder him. But that aside, this stage is really, really fun from a speedrunning perspective. There's just a lot of fun movement. How do either of you feel about the New York Mets?
I feel really good about them. I like them a lot.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I just murdered them.
No!
That joke was funnier when I had a diehard Mets fan on my couch, honestly.
I guess I'll just become a Yankees
Gonna do
fan.
a little cancel there, so we have just a little bit more room. Making our way through here comfy. A big thing to note with this game, the movement, is that how fast you cancel your slides is really important. Anyways, the enemies in this room are called Skulkers, as in Skullkers. Skulkers. I love that. I'm a huge fan of that room and those enemies who will come back later. Trick to getting through this room is to move fast. Then we have another Met Dropper. I love the Met Dropper. It's just such a Mega Man enemy design. We're actually not gonna slide through this screen transition. Now we're gonna mess up anyways. We're gonna mess up some more anyways. This screen here is what I like to call baby's first Raiden, because it's actually 5 tiles. So you get to like kind of train yourself into Raiden comfort with that screen. Easy, exact ammo. So now we're gonna fight Tomahawk Man. Tomahawk is weak to Plant Man's weapon, which is a shield, which is really annoying because Tomahawk has a bunch of different attacks that are relatively hard to dodge. So what we're basically gonna be doing is sort of jumping in a rhythm to theoretically dodge attacks and just kinda, we'll see what happens. This is going well, I say as I take damage. We did it. Racism is dead.
Nice.
I don't think that's how that works.
This is definitely how that works. All right, so now we're done. That's not true. I was about to say now we're done with 4 Robot Masters, but we're done with 5.
Counting is hard.
I know how to count, I swear. Oh, speaking of me being extremely tired, I would like to dedicate this run to the jerk who pulled the fire alarm at 5:30 in the morning, who caused me not to get like any sleep. Which, you know, sucked, but also was the reason I got up to watch the Star Force 3 run, and, you know, that was pretty good, so I don't know. The conclusion is that person is still terrible. Nice little ride in there. This is Yamato Man stage.
Yamato Man?
Yamato Man.
I don't know the thing.
I don't know what thing you were trying to know but didn't, so we're even. These fireflies are kind of annoying. Dragonflies, not fireflies. That one's Baron's Dragonfly. Thanks, Baron's Dragonfly. Then we're gonna slide over here. Ah! Shoot this one a bunch in the leggies. That's a returning enemy from Mega Man 5. The ones in Mega Man 5, you can only shoot them in the head. But they got a downgrade for this game because, I don't know, I guess Wily was running out of money. So, this is the jet adapter. It's a jetpack, which is super cool. So we're gonna be taking this sort of bonus pathway instead of taking the originally intended, ooh, that was almost pretty good. The originally intended pathway through the level. One really unique thing with Mega Man 6 is that it actually has some somewhat non-linear level design. 4 of the Robot Masters have 2 boss rooms, one of which requires Jet or Pow to reach. And if you go to that one, you'll get a letter that, one of the 4 letters that spells out beat. And you can get beat just like in Mega Man 5, except unlike in Mega Man 5, beat in this game is absolutely useless. So we don't bother. This is the only one of the letters that we're gonna get, because it's actually just faster to take the jet path. So fun fact about Yamato Man can never do the same thing more than twice. So, since he did 2 shots at the end there, I knew his next move would have been to jump, but he was dead anyways, so whatevs. And next up is Nightman stage. So, as a reminder, from the official decree of the governing Shadow Council of the speedrunning community, your speed game is not a real speed game unless it has a trick called Crusher Skip. So we're gonna do Crusher Skip in this stage. This is the Europe Robot Master, I guess. From the capital of science. I like science. Science is pretty neat.
I think science is
Also, this music's really good.
What has science ever done for me personally?
Absolutely nothing. This room's kind of fun, just a little hop, and we're good. Release the Buster Charge across the screen transition. So here's a Crusher. We're just gonna do that, and then we're just gonna do that, which is going to do that. Basically what we did there is we took advantage of the fact that time passes while you're in the menu to make the spike ceiling go down and then go back up without ever being able to hit us because it was in a menu. There's a lot of precise little slide cancels in this stage. I say skipping like 2 of them because, oh god, spikes. Mega Man 6 is a really cool game from a speedrunning perspective because of the movement mechanics. There's a lot to optimize in this game. I'm just gonna get hit by that as a safety. if you cut that jump too close and hit the corner of the platform, and this is a thing for all of Mega Man 6, you can clip on the corner and fall. Let me do this room, and then I'll get back to what I was talking about. Hopefully we're going to see 2 smooth right ends here. Easy. Super easy. That room is really nice when it's done well. But with the way you have to move so precisely and with so many inputs in this game to, like, you know, be constantly canceling slides, there's a lot in this game to be optimized, which makes it a really, really fun speed game. There's an invisible block there, as a fun fact. And then we're on our way over to Nightman. Conveniently, just as a wizard walked into the room. So Nightman is also a jumpy boy. Unlike the other Robot Masters, or most of the other Robot Masters at least, Nightman's pattern is purely random. Nightman can basically do whatever the heck he pleases. But that was a pretty good pattern all in all. You want less jumps because the shots are easier to, you know, shoot back on. That's also one of the worst fights in the game to have to use Buster for, so make sure to be conservative with your ammo in that stage. Thankfully, we didn't have to see that. Nightman's shield blocks Buster shots, so it's a huge pain to hit him. Cool, now we're on to our last Robot Master. Centaur Man.
Centaur Man?
Centaur Man.
Centaur Man?
Centaur Man. You two both warmed up your singing voices. Yes, this is required.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's go. Man, Centaur 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 Man, Centaur. I can't menu Centaur Man,
Centaur Man, Centaur Man, Centaur Man, Centaur Man, Centaur Man, Centaur Man.
Thank you. Not sure what happened there other than me being unable to menu. We're using the plant barrier for this screen because, yeah, there's just a lot of enemies. Next up is, after this, is my favorite screen in the entire run, I think. There's a lot of cool screens. I like this one a lot, though. This is satisfying to do fast. We're just going to use the night ball to hit everything. It's full slide and a jump. Then we're going to shoot a diagonal down as we enter the room. I'll scoop and hit that fish. This room, we're going to do a pretty tight damage boost, ideally. Turn around. I'm going to cut it safe and cut the slide early there. We got hit, no big deal. We didn't die on spikes, that's what really matters. Gonna take a hit from that enemy and go like that. That's a pretty tight little maneuver there. I miss that pretty often, honestly. Then we're gonna climb some stairs. Okay, cancel. 2 shots for these cloud guys. Doop. All right, next screen here we have the impossible boost. So called because it is definitely not impossible, as I'm gonna show you right now. Yeah!
Nice.
What's tricky about that is that you have to slide to the right, then cancel to the left, and then move to the right more, and then turn around to the left to get hit. And it's just a very fast flurry of inputs. But it's definitely not impossible. This is Centaur Man. So the thing to know about Centaur Man is going to try and use a flash attack and freeze everything on the screen. So long as either Centaur or Mega are in iframes, that flash will not happen. So we want to basically keep Centaur in iframes. You know, ideally, we won't be in iframes at any point. I forgot that those still exist. That was a pretty good fight, though. Not the best pattern. We don't want teleports, ideally, but it is what it is. And that's all 8 of our Robot Masters. Now we're going to go showdown with Mr. X, who's definitely not Dr. Wily. Give him the what for, and go on our merry way back out to MAGFest. Have we talked about the music? I think I've gushed about the music. The music in this game is so freaking good.
We've briefly mentioned the music, but it can be mentioned again because it's so freaking good.
So, first stage of Mr. X's some noun for a building that isn't castle that I don't remember offhand.
Fortress?
We're basically scaling the outside of this building. This stage intends for you to use jet a lot, and we're gonna do that anyways. Not that we have to, we kinda have to, but yeah. Go like that, and boost off the edge, and play that nice and safe, because oh god, spikes. And so now, after this room, we're actually going to switch to POW and go through the secret exit here. So if you never figured this one out as a kid, no sweat, I didn't either. That's how you do that. You go back and then you full jump. Go like that. We're mostly killing stuff in here for lag reduction, because this room gets really laggy. Ooh. Go like that, never even saw it. Mega Man 6 reference. My god, Mega Man himself just walked into the room. Whoa! I'm honored to be in your presence, my friend. Anyways, this boss fight is these two car things. We're gonna put some shots on the ground, one there, couple on the wall. Easy.
Nice.
When that kill goes smooth, it's one of the best looking kills in the game. Lining up those flame shots is rather tricky. If you're looking for a slightly safer strat, you can also play bumper cars with the POW suit. If you hit one of them with a fully charged POW, it'll turn around, which is great, and you can just knock them back and forth. Stage 2 is this is basically this game's purple hell, but it's not actually that bad. Oh. It's fine.
That's why this is purple heck.
We're just gonna mash slide across this bridge. Go like that. Mandatory jet usage. God, menus in this game take forever. Pull the charge through here. There's a couple different strats that runners use in this room. I'm a fan of the Buster strats. Just gonna do some damage boosts. Have no fear of the spikes. The spikes can sense your fear.
Intimidation is key.
Damage boost. Right in. And we're through that very scary room, admittedly. After these mets, we have the worst boss in the game. This is Wall Climber. Wall Climber likes to climb walls, and likes to do so completely randomly. So we just, we get to adapt on the fly, and I do not like how much health we have right now. We have a bunch of lives, worst case scenario. Yeah, we're dead next hit. Yeah, okay.
That boss is not easy.
No. The way you sort of do it as a speedrunner is you just kind of get used to how high Wall Climber is on the wall as it relates to a position to fire tomahawks from on the floor. And it's just sort of a memory game, really. This is a pretty nice pattern. Oh my gosh. Wall Climber, don't take advantage of my graces. That's no big deal. We can pick up some extra ammo later, because we did use way too much. But that's fine. So the next stage up is X3. This is basically the jet stage. X1 was sort of that, but not to the same degree. This stage is just full of bottomless pits. You can take advantage of a slide there and then fall off the edge, because it didn't cancel fast enough. No big deal. And then we're basically going to use jet for... We take a jet break halfway. Boost up the ladder, and then wait for that. So a thing to know about jet is that when the jet boost is happening, your horizontal speed is actually slower. So ideally, we want to be doing as little jet as possible by doing, nice little, like, quick tap off the ground jumps like that in order to just give us a little bit of extra speed. Switch back to Buster for this section. I still don't know how to do that section properly, honestly. I don't know why I'm holding a charge. I always do, and it's still not a thing that needs to be done. I went too fast. Oops. Meanwhile, off camera, Gino and Mega Man are hanging out over there. Alright, then we're gonna switch back to jet here. If we menued to jet later, we would get what we like to call a menu of 1,000 years. For some reason, in some specific spots on, like, just specific spots in the game, you get laggier menus. No idea why. There's a couple of those spots in X3 and X4 that are really worth noting. Swag jet. Then we're gonna wait until we're past halfway in this corridor, because that's another laggy menu spot. Suit punch. Alright, so this boss is called Mitonger Z. I don't think I need to say anything else. Other than this boss is kind of a pain. Oh my god, Matongerzy. Well, we're through it. All right, so next up is definitely the final stage in the run, because we're gonna go face off with Mr. X. It's also the hardest stage in the entire run. I talked about some stages as fairly difficult in the Robot Masters. X4 is a whole nother thing, and I'm just glad we get a bunch of extra lives in this run because of that bonus room. All right, so first we're gonna just take a little time here and pick up some Tomahawk ammo, because, you know, between the wall climber death and the suboptimal fight, better to have more ammo. Then we're gonna do the hardest jump in the game. Was easy. Gonna kill that one with buster shots. That should still kill. Nope, I am a liar. Just a lot of smooth movement and slide cancels and ride ends here. I'm skipping some of the ride ends because marathon safety. That room is terrifying. And there's another room that's coming up that's even more terrifying, honestly. Those went diagonal, which is not forward. Oh gosh, it's fine. Anyone in the crowd like Overwatch? I'm gonna pretend someone said yes, and you know, this is your room, because this is the High Noon room.
No one likes Overwatch. There are zero fans of that very popular
Fair
game.
enough. Anyways, we got through that room. It's terrifying. And the final terror of X4 is this room, featuring more bottomless pits, and more just enemies everywhere. Again, I'm skipping a bunch of slides we could be doing. Quick pop shot there. If you don't do that, the shot might miss. And if you do that, and you get bad luck from that cannon, it will just smack you with a bullet before you can reach that ledge, and you will fall into that pit and die. Here's a ball. We're gonna punch it. Easy. All right, so we've defeated Mr. X. That's the end of the video game.
Wow.
My scheme for world domination has failed, D! But I still have enough power to destroy you!
You got world record by like 10 minutes. Oh, what?
Was that Dr. Wily?
It was Dr. Wily.
Oh my god.
How many times has that joke been made in this marathon?
Like at
Tech
least
held up
5.
some fingers back there, but my eyesight isn't that good. It's obligatory. It's just, you gotta. It's not Mega Man-athon if it wasn't Dr. Wily all along, you know?
Okay, but what if you beat Dr. Wily and it turns out it was Mr. X the whole time, pretending to be Dr. Wily, pretending
That
to
would
be
be
Mr.
some
X?
galaxy brain villainy right there.
I think the real Dr. Wily was the friends we made along the way.
So these are the Wily stages. There's 4 of them. 2 of them are just kind of normal stages. They're a little short. 3 is refights and 4 is boss fight. This is another jet-focused stage. The Wily stages are honestly significantly easier than the X stages, so there's not a ton to worry about left in the run. I mean, we still have to keep playing good. This is the room of 1,000 menus. You don't actually have to do 2 menus in that room. You could do the other one, I don't know, here, but whatever. Yeah. This song is really good. Just so we're clear on where we're at with music, this is one of the top songs in this game. And a slide, and a backwards damage boost, swag shot, invisible swag shot even? Yeah! Okay, so first boss of Wily Castle is the Mechasaurus Dragon. And you know what we're gonna do to the Mechasaurus Dragon?
What?
We're gonna boop the snoot.
We're gonna boop the snoot.
We're gonna boop the snoot. All right, so what the deal with this boss fight is that Yamato Spear is really annoying. First of all, it alternates gliding up and gliding down per shot, so you have to be keeping track of your ups and downs. Second of all, the Yamato Spear moves at 6 pixels per frame, and the Mechasaurus Dragon has a 4-pixel hitbox, so if you're standing in a bad spot, your shot will just pass through the boss. Conveniently, up against the wall is a good spot, so what we do is we ride the platforms up, stay up against the wall, and then fire our shots. That boss fight can go very wrong, though, but that time it went pretty good. That was my annotation of the lightning sound effect.
That was very good.
Thanks.
Can we get a sound font of just you making sound effects?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
Another little slide cancel there. Another little one right there. We have a hard jump in this room. We're going to be taking the shortcut path. Because, you know, shortcut and speedrun. All right, number between 1 and 4.
3.
5.
The answer was 3. Good job, Rose. You got 3 out of 4 of those little cannon shots. You can shoot those things over the top of the head. Don't really know how that works. Okay, while we're here, have a little bit of time, I want to just take a second to shout out the Mega Man 6 community. Honestly, the best sub-community in classic Mega Man speedrunning. It's full of people who are really, really nice. That was the Mad Nerds room, by the way. That's the joke. Anyways, they're actually really nice. This is BJW, aka Bubbly Jumbo Wheel. I have no idea what the actual name of this boss is, because it's BJW. Shoutouts to BJW. Cool. All right, that's the 2 main Wily stages down. Now we just have a little mini stage and then some refights. This mini stage has a gimmick of these fans. So basically, we just want to be moving forward at all times, and we'll be on a good fan cycle. If we mess up even slightly, things will go haywire, and we'll have to hang out in pits with a bunch of spikes. No problem at all. Shoot that one, then we're going to menu to Tomahawk to pick up some more ammo. Backwards damage boost, we're going to put the menu on the left side and then menu to jet. Putting the menu on the left like that is going to allow us to get to the next weapon we're going to use more easily. Hey, nice. Sometimes you don't get the item you want, or sometimes you don't grab that ladder. So yeah, we can just menu to flame right away there if you put the menu back on the left side. Mega Man 6's menu is kind of weird. And now we have some boss refights. Canada being uncooperative as always. I don't know if Charlotte is watching, but if she is, Charlotte, I blame you. I don't think she is. That's okay. It's still her fault. And if any of you are Canadian, it's your fault too. You're all complicit. Oh my gosh. Flame Man. Go away. There's not a ton to say during the refights here. It's all pretty much the same stuff. The only fight that's going to be different is Windman's coming up in a bit. Otherwise, these are all the same. The Plant Man manip is also slightly different because, as a fun fact, when you enter this boss room, you're 1 pixel farther to the left compared to where you would enter the boss room in like a regular boss gate, which is going to affect how we set up that manipulation, but that's no big deal. So this fight is different. We're just going to tap the shoot button every 60 frames now. Also, very important, menu to your next weapon after killing Windman before picking up the health, otherwise you will get a laggy menu. Not a clue why. I don't know. And now we're fighting Centaur again. Hopefully we'll get a better pattern, I say, as she teleports. Okay, well that was good. Only 1 teleport. Switch over to Spear. So since we're using the weakness weapons for every single Robot Master, menuing isn't really a concern for how we route this boss fight capsule room. So we're literally just going in fastest movement order. In some other Mega Man games, it's more optimal to... That was the best Nightman pattern you can get, I think. In some games, it's more optimal to base your capsule order around menuing, but in this game, we're using a different weapon for every single robot, so there's no real way to optimize menuing. I guess you could optimize the order in which you choose weapons, but that's not a huge time save compared to, you know, having good movement. Cool. All right, so we're going to step once to the right, And plant man moved to the left anyways, so whatever. Like I said, I don't remember how to do the left side manip. It does exist. I'm just bad at video games. So we're just hitting 2 shots per phase, and done. All right, before we head out of this room, gonna attempt the Papat jump. Easy!
Nice.
Easy! That is a pixel-perfect jump right there. Shoutouts to Papat.1, world record holder in Mega Man 6 speedruns. One of the nicest human beings on the planet. He's real good. Cool, so that was our 8 Robot Masters. Now our final stage here is we're just going to go take down Dr. Wily. You walk off that ledge. If you don't, you'll be sad, because if you slid off that ledge, you wouldn't be able to get that weapon energy, and you want that weapon energy because it's weapon energy. We're gonna use 5 tomahawks to kill this purple Met Dropper. It's a nice look, I think. I like the color purple. And this leaves us with exactly enough ammo to do all 3 phases of Wily with Tomahawk and 2 Tomahawks to spare. Ideally, we won't need to switch weapons to something else to finish the fight, but we'll see what happens. Kill in midair.
Good first phase.
Fire a shot there, and it'll just hit as soon as the second phase starts. That was a weird pattern. Anyways, that's it. Time is going to be coming up on final hit. So it's a Wily capsule. We can't hit that. Can hit that one twice. 3 times. Once. And time. What is that time?
GG.
It's 37 something. 48. That's really good. A 37 in a marathon, I am honestly super happy with. And Dr. Wily Beirine Un. Cool. Yeah, so that was Mega Man 6. That was an absolutely stellar run as far as my resetless marathon runs go. A lot of my practice runs were in the 38s and 39s, so I'm very happy. Any final thoughts, you two?
Mets are good.
Capcom has taken over the media.
Really makes you thinking face emoji. So, yeah, thank you so much for watching and for donating to Mega Man-athon. This stream is going to be on today and tomorrow as well, I believe. And then, once you're done watching this stream, Games Done Quick is starting up after that. So, be sure to tune in all week long for GDQ. But again, stay here first. So yeah, my name's ProtoMagicalGirl. Thank you so much for watching. I really like Mega Man 6. If you want to get into classic Mega Man speedrunning, I'm addressing you, the viewer, right now. This intimate experience. If you want to get into classic Mega Man speedrunning, you should go to megamanleaderboards.net. There you will find links to all of the Mega Man Leaderboards rules and community Discord and stuff like that. A lot of the people in the Mega Man community are really, really good about helping new people. So just pick one of these games that you like and just give it a go. Okay, I think that's all. Yeah.
Oh, hey there. All right, folks. We are still here with the Mega Man-athon, except now it is turning over. We have the dubious honor of transitioning between Mega Man-athon and MAGFest. Give a the switch here.
Oh, there it is.
Way in there.
Hello.
All right.
Thank you for the technical
I'm here
help.
with ProtoMagicalGirl,
Ah.
who just ran Mega Man 6. A game that is definitely underappreciated in the
Oh my
series.
God, yes. So, okay. The whole you have to cancel slide things isn't good. Yeah, that's a flaw. But everything else about Mega Man 6, the graphics, the music, the level
The
design.
music especially.
The music especially makes Mega Man 6 one of the best classic Mega Mans, I think.
Oh yeah, I would say so. I've always been a fan of Mega Man 6. You have the whole like rush adapter mechanic.
The rush adapters are so cool.
Yeah.
It's just, you fuse with rush and you have a cool power suit. I love it.
You
Mega
become-
Man 6 was always my favorite from childhood. I grew up on the Anniversary Collection. And so, I had my pick of the litter with games, and somehow 6 was the one I always went back to.
All right,
Maybe it was
that's-
because it was easier, I don't know.
It is that. It is a little bit easier, but it's at least like thematically strong. You have the whole like world tournament thing and
Yeah.
a very mysterious villain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mr. X.
Mr. X.
Mr. X,
who
he's
is
so,
this?
he's so mysterious.
I do appreciate the pun of misdirects and Mr. X.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
It's probably the only
Learning
clever
things
thing.
all these years later about Mega Man 6.
There's
what do you
always
know?
something to learn about the Mega Man series. You're never too young,
No.
never too old. It's for all ages, and there's always something new to learn. Speaking of all ages, we are still taking donations for Child's Play. We are trying to at least break the stretch goal of getting Brian, our gracious host, to shave his head off.
Oh boy.
The entire head off. It's worth it.
I
yes.
want to see that.
It's a worthy sacrifice. Oh yes, once we hit $10,000, he'll be doing the big shave thing. Our
believe-
final stretch goal is supposed to be 20,000. So this man right here, will be losing all this. I believe we have Skipper doing the honors of taking all of this mighty quaff.
I'm very excited that for our family-friendly show, we'll have decapitation, yes.
Absolutely. It is a worthy sacrifice. So yes, Child's Play is such a fantastic cause. There's so many worthy charities. I know you are a habitual speedrunner. You've been
You could
part
say
of
that.
several charities. So you have hot takes on how one supports various causes, but I am personally committed to Child's Play because there's such this psychological factor of joy that giving entertainment and just this sense of hope to kids in the hospital. Giving entertainment, giving communicative capabilities to talk to their families at home. It's such a beautiful cause.
Yeah, no, I love Child's Play. They're a really good charity, and y'all should definitely keep donating. I'm famous from the internet. You should listen to my influence.
Yes, indeed. Oh, looks like we're frozen.
Uh-oh.
But that's fine. Our voices are still strong, still going loud and proud. So speaking of loud and proud, in fact, I've seen that some of the causes that you support have been benefits for the LGBT community. So tell me a little bit about that. Like, what have you done for?
In addition to being a speedrunner, just in general, I am an event producer. I love helping out with events like this. I don't actually work with Mega Man-athon. Maybe next year, we'll see. But one of the events I work for is called Power Up with Pride, and Power Up with Pride is an LGBT community speedrunning marathon that raises money for LGBT causes by featuring runners from the queer community and their allies. That's probably the biggest event I work for these days. Our most recent event raised a lot of money for the Trevor Project, and just as a very loud and proud and active queer person who, everything about my speedrunning career is I want to do good in the world, and if I can do that good by playing video games in front of people, that's fantastic. So putting on events, especially ones so close to home as Power Up with Pride is really, really important to me.
Oh Yes, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Doing what you love for a thing that you love.
Yeah.
Being a performer in some way. Like in fact, performance is part of that idea of the queer communities and everything. Like, obviously, you see me being a cross player here.
Hey, same.
Hey,
I'm the
go figure.
Magnemite Master. It says.
Yes, indeed. You can see. You got a doctorate in it and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole performativity of identity and the idea of being a performer as a speedrunner, and performing for an event like this, at MAGFest. MAGFest enables people to be performers for a good cause.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful thing. It's definitely a very beautiful thing. To be able to act upon a level of performance for a cause that you believe in, it's outstanding.
One of the bigger things I had to do while I was getting ready for this run, it had been kind of a while since I had played Mega Man 6. I had been taking a little bit of a break from Mega Man speedrunning, focusing on some other projects. But I came back to 6, and one of the biggest things I had to do was sit down and practice, how do I talk about this game again? Like, commentary is highly underrated in speedrunning, and that is such a shame.
Oh, yeah,
because
definitely.
Good commentators make runs.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Speedrun, like, there's so much focus and concentration that goes into actually doing the run that, often you want, like, you want to have some assistance with the commentary. But yeah, to be able to comment on it yourself, sitting down and practicing what to talk about. Because, there's a lot of, like, little trivia you can slide in with various Mega Man games.
Yeah, speedruns don't look impressive if you don't know what's going on. That's not true for every game. But I feel like for stuff like Mega Man, it just looks like you're playing the game normally, just, kind of fast. And commentary is what makes that experience.
Yeah, definitely. You want to give some of the insight and like some of the kind of maybe like kind of tutorialize it a little bit to people. Say why is this faster? Why is this maneuver faster than others? But
exactly.
In prior years of the Mega Man-athon, I had played Mega Man X3, and there's only so much you can talk about with a game like that.
Really? X3 is a pretty dense speed game as far as I've seen.
That's not wrong. So I don't speedrun.
Fair
Let's
enough.
say I play expeditiously, perhaps. But yeah, I don't speedrun exactly. But there's enough commentary you can generate from a game like X3. But you're going to repeat yourself when you speedrun a game or you run a game several times. You're going to repeat yourself. So I understand having to like sit down and practice, and sit down and think about what you're going to talk about. Kind of get a pseudo script, so to speak.
Commentary, at least as how I do commentary, is sort of a mix of routine and improv. I usually like to plan out like what specific topics I'm going to cover per stage. I usually have a couple written out jokes, and by written out I mean just in my head. I don't actually write notes. But beyond that, just like vague outline of I know I want to explain the sliding mechanics during Windman stage. I know I want to explain the beat letters during Yamato Man stage when it's actually relevant. Beyond that, I just have fun, because for me, if I'm just reading from a script, you'd know, and it would just be no fun for anyone.
Yeah. If it seems too rehearsed, it's dry. But yeah,
Speedrunning is fun. Like,
there is
you want to have fun with it.
Absolutely, yeah. There's so much improv in doing a performance like that. Playing video games in front of people.
Yeah.
It's very, very improv related, which is also related right now. This interview itself is very improv.
Yeah, I mean, I had no idea what I was going to be asking. We're just chilling. I gotta say, it's really nice to be on the other side of the interview table. I used to do interviews for Games Done Quick where I was interviewing the other runners, and it was just, it's really fun, but it's all this prep work, all this research, making notes, communicating with people. You need to be here at this time. I need to know what game they're running, when it, came out, what's the trivia, what are the most important tricks. For this, I just waltzed over here, sat down, picked up a mic, didn't even know how to turn it on, but that was okay, because it was not my fault. And yeah, I don't know. It's nice to relax sometimes as like an event producer. Things get really busy, and then sometimes it's nice for them to not be busy.
Yes, absolutely. I trust as much. There's a lot of pressure involved in making things work. Trying to wrangle cats.
Wrangle cats, wrangle capture cards.
Yeah, this year has actually run fairly smoothly. Mega Man-athon has been going for 7 years now, and it writes itself every time.
That's way longer than I've even been speedrunning. That is such a wow. I had no idea what was going on for that. I did know that because of the name. It's literally right there in the name.
It's right there, yeah. Mega Man-athon 7, as it turns out.
Didn't really put 2 and 2 together on that one.
But yeah, Mega Man-athon 7 is this. As it turns out, we have the dubious honor of being the final Mega Man-athon at MAGFest, because right now we are preparing to transition, and I believe Star Fox is the game coming up next.
Cool.
We are transitioning to MAGFest, which is such an adorable name.
Oh my God. When I was first told that next year's event was going to be called MAGFast, I just about died. That is such, as an appreciator of puns, that
Absolutely,
is
yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, I want to know who was responsible for this, so I can. It was Brian. Brian was the one.
Good
All right.
job.
Our very gracious host was the one who came up with the name MAGFest. We have him to blame. But it is so cute. Because I think it was supposed to be called like super speed something, like I don't know. There were other ideas thrown around. Yeah. Ugh.
Just way too many syllables.
Yeah. So MAGFest, it's short, it's succinct. In fact, it's speed running a name.
Yeah. It's MAGFast. You only changed one letter, and it's
That's
I'm so into the name.
It's pro tactics. So
These are really pretty. Real talk.
These were generated by our good friend, our friend of the show, Tron Bon Art. She drew these up for Mega Man-athon 6. Or actually, I think they were generated for 5, actually. But yeah, they've been going long and strong.
They're just good boys, you know?
They're such good boys.
They're my sons. Every Robot Master is my son.
Aw.
Except for Splash Woman, she's my daughter. So is Roll. They're all my children, and I love them all equally. Oh, hi there.
All right,
Hello.
we're being
So this is all for me?
Oh,
Great.
walk away with it. No. This is actually for you folks at home and you folks in the audience. When you donate, I believe it is $5 at least for the minimum to be entered into the raffle. You're entered into the raffle to win these. And $1 for, where is it? Here it is. $1 to be entered into the
There's 2 of them.
the most precious of prizes. The 2 shrink-wrapped Michael Flatley's Lord of the Dance. One on DVD here, and
What am I supposed to do with this?
the very 90s
Okay.
experience, the
Sounds good.
still shrink-wrapped VHS of Lord
Oh.
of the Dance. You, one lucky winner from the raffle, will be able to win those prizes. But for the $5 entry, you have all this other swag, all this nonsense here. You have this little Funko Pop baby, this little proto baby boy.
Ooh, that's the shiny boy there.
Oh, and apparently, we have one
have
of Juggle Boy's creations. We have the planet Saturn in balloon form.
It's an orb. I like orbs. Mega
Oh yeah,
Man's an orb.
as one does. Yes, indeed. We have what was this one? Oh yeah, the Mega Man backpack, or the Z, Mega Man Zero backpack.
I want that. Can I have it?
If you donate $5 or more, you are entered into the raffle. So I
hey, there we
believe
go.
you will have a chance. So we have the Fun Cop baby. We have the official complete art book of Azure Zyker Gunvolt here. That is entered into the sweepstakes. We have, let's see, what's going on with this? We have and it is also signed, apparently, I'm told. It's hard to see through the
I
wrap.
want it.
And we seem to have a hard copy of the 3DS Azure Striker Gunvolt here. That's the promo one. The promo copy of Azure Striker Gunvolt.
I want it all. As a noted
You want it all, and you want it
Mega
now.
Man collector, I want it all.
We have this gross little thing here. We have the Yellow Devil and
A
a Yellow
friend.
Mega Man.
An orb, a friend.
Such a friend.
Oh, there's a tiny yellow Mega Man
Yeah,
too.
tiny little yellow Mega Man
I
involved
love
with this.
him.
We have the muscle figure of the Yellow Devil and Mega Man. We have an amiibo over here. We have the
This is
golden
the special golden boy
Mega Man
that
amiibo.
I want.
And we do have as well a Proto Man Buster replica. It's not the original one because it's probably faulty. I'm told that Proto Man was a bit of a mess in his design, you know.
Yeah, you know, he's
Wily
the
and
Mega
Dr.
Man
Light
lore
have a
goes
hard
deep.
time with it.
Dr. Light built Proto Man with a nuclear power core, which was unstable. But Proto Man refused to be fixed because fixing Proto Man would risk changing the inherent properties of his integrated circuit, which gave him his personality. He was like,
Yes,
no, I
indeed.
just want to be me. And so he just outed, and
was too
then he
stubborn.
ended up working for Dr. Wily for a little while, and now he's our favorite sunglasses edgy son.
Oh yes, he's our sweet boy. You know, that is the his whole design lore is one of the reasons why one might argue that Dr. Wily was indeed the superior scientist. You know, that might just be my hot take here, but I have to say he made Zero, who is an incredible robot. He
True.
made the Robo-Enza, which was the proto version of the Zero virus, which was the Sigma virus, which was what made everyone go Maverick. What makes him the better scientist, to be perfectly honest, is his willingness to take chances.
You know, he made Charge Man. Charge Man, it's a freaking train robot.
Oh, he made a choo-choo. Ah. Cossack maybe. Cossack was also a very strong scientist.
Dr.
Yes.
Dr. Cossack is yelling from over there. I'm a big fan of yours, Doctor. I'm
Cossack was strong.
real big into Skullman and all of his compatriots. I say desperately struggling to remember robot masters like the fake gamer girl I am.
Oh, how very dare you. But Pharaoh Man.
Pharaoh Man is cool.
What else does one need to say? Pharaoh Man, the sexiest robot masters.
I'm sure the chat is like, hey, your screen is black. We know. Sorry, we're power cycling the camera. It started freezing. We'll be right back. Enjoy the wonderful voices of Slappy Meats and ProtoMagicalGirl.
Oh, yes. But
Welcome
make sure you
back
don't
to
stop telling us that the screen is black. You know, we need to know.
Mega Man
fill the
interview
chat with your rage.
ASMR.
Yes, so, yes, indeed. Even in, like, the Ruby Spears cartoon, we are told that Wily was only a villain because he was estranged by Dr. Light. All he really wanted was some recognition.
I mean, he also did, like, build a bunch of murder robots.
I mean, come on. Sometimes
know-
you just gotta build some murder robots.
Okay, you know, that's
Can you
fair.
blame a guy?
And to be fair, Dr. Cossack over there did build a murder robot.
At least one.
7 of them, in fact. Well, actually, no, he did build Skullman. It's just that Wily was like, you're gonna build Skullman, but the rest of them were Cossack's designs. I think the lore runs deep.
Yeah. Skullman, I believe, was one of them as a weapon.
Yep.
But the other ones were repurposed.
And that leads to a really, really great sob story in Hitoshi Ariga's Mega Man manga. I believe it's Rockman Remix Volume 2 has the Skullman story. I unabashedly cry every time I read through that series because I'm a dork who loves robots. And oh my god, the way Ariga presents those stories is, oh my gosh.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, it's nice to have, the emotions tickled by such a lore.
It's like the Mega Man games, especially the very early ones on NES, it's like, there's not really much story, just, Dr. Wily bad.
Yeah, there's a quote-unquote story involved.
And the extended universe materials like the Archie Comics Mega Man and the Ariga manga and oh gosh, who's the other one? There was a third manga artist. Not coming to mind right now. That one's also good. I swear. They just take this story and flesh it out into something so meaningful. Like as someone who's been just Mega Man obsessed for my entire life, the way artists and creators and writers have, given life and given depth to the story of this blue boy who goes to defeat the evil Dr. Wily with his evil mustache and evil hair is I love it a lot.
That is definitely a hair that you do not stand up to without a sense of justice.
No.
But yes, most certainly. Artists being inspired by this, very basic idea, this very basic notion of a blue robo boy with a sense of justice of some kind. You have artists like the Proto Men. You have artists like the Megas. People who.
Oh, hey, it's us.
Hey, there we are. We're visible. So yeah, you have these artists who will flesh out this lore and take something that's very basic and then build upon it. And there is so much to be had. There's so much personality to be generated from it. And it's outstanding. And that's one of the reasons why one can sit here and just nerd out about who is the better scientist.
We had a 7-hour drive to get to MAGFest yesterday. I'll come out from behind the pile of cool toys. And we spent, I think, 2 or 3 hours of that drive listening to the Megas Get Acoustic, because, oh my god, that album's so good.
So good.
So good. Also, fun fact, one time Raoul Panther licked my or not licked, excuse me, smelled. Not quite as cool.
Yeah.
He smelled my Proto-Man replica arm cannon that I unfortunately don't have with me at this con.
Not this time. But we do have this one that you can win if you donate to the children. Donate $5 or more to be entered into the raffle. We are trying to break that $10,000 stretch goal to get this man to be decapitated on screen. There it is. Take his face off.
That's definitely how that works.
So just to inform everyone, Star Fox will be happening on time. The only issue is they're arriving at the moment, and we're getting ready. But you got so fast that we're ahead of schedule. So
Sorry.
Yeah. MAGFest is too fast.
MAGFest is too fast. That
What have you
run
done?
was really good. Like the estimate that I usually submit Mega Man 6 under is 41 minutes. Because that's the cap for me of like getting over to the point where it's like, okay, that's dying like 4 or 5 times, having some really, really terrible mistakes. Usually, like I did a couple streams of, just practicing the game before this event, because that's what you do, you gotta practice. And I was, hitting, 40s, 38s, 39s. I had like 137 out of like a bunch of runs, and just to hit it today was awesome. Like that run was extremely smooth, and I'm very, very happy about it.
Yeah, hitting like a close to a personal best in public.
Yeah.
That's outstanding.
Yeah, my
In
best
front of an
time
audience.
is 36:32, which I know that sounds like a whole minute and 15 seconds. That's so much.
That's
but
huge
like
in the
in a
speedrun
Mega Man
community.
game, all that is just taking your movement a little bit more scary and getting a little bit closer to falling
Yeah.
on spikes by sliding, and being a little less conservative about saving ammo and stuff like that, and suddenly. Just those tiny little things without changing any major strats, and that's a minute.
Yeah,
Mega
yeah.
Man speedrunning has such an incredible depth, and also like one thing I really like about Mega Man speedrunning is the way it has a really good, difficulty curve. Not in the same sense that you hear difficulty curve in terms of video games. I'm just gonna move that out of the way. But like where you can start with a Mega Man speedrun and just know the weakness weapons, know a boss order, and have practiced, and that's strats. Or you can sit down and grind out every room, every stage, learn how to ride in, learn how to slide cancel, learn every little bit of movement, learn how to manipulate bosses.
Yes,
and
exactly.
you can go anywhere in between, really. Like, the way I like to learn with speedruns is I'll go through the whole game, learn a bunch of strats, practice them, then do a ton of runs, and just repeat that cycle. So, just going down bits and chunks of time at a time. And that's something you can so easily do with Mega Man, which is just wonderful.
Yeah, definitely. Like platformers like that, there's so many core mechanics that are very simple, very easy to digest. But when we start dealing with like things like slide canceling, you're talking about very particular ways to manipulate the mechanics. So yeah, it's a very what's the word I'm looking for here? It's a fundamental. It's a very fundamental sort of principle to be dealing with there, where you pick up these core, easy to understand mechanics, and then you work them to your fashion to make it faster. You think about like the risky jumps. You're thinking about like jumps where the spikes are right up against your head, or like the longer pits of spikes where you would want to like kind of scooch up to the edge. If you're playing it conservatively, you kind of toe the edge.
Yep, the classic Mega Man strat of
Scoot. Yeah.
they can't actually see our legs. I was doing the like Mega Man leg shake.
I
under the
assure you,
table.
a leg scoot happened. But yeah, playing it less conservatively like that, you just take a leap of faith.
Yeah.
You cut off those seconds. Yeah, platformers
exactly.
shaving off seconds in a platformer. It's impressive. It's impressive to do.
Yeah, it's just this whole big game of like risk reward. Like, how big of a risk are you willing to take for how small of a reward? Are you willing to 20 minutes into a 30-minute platformer speed run, do a slide cancel on a conveyor belt 2-tile wide platform? I'm subtweeting Nightman's stage right now. Are you willing to literally try to save frames by risking throwing yourself into a spike pit extremely easily?
risking
and
a
if you
death.
want to be Papat.1 and get a 33:43 or whatever absolutely bonkers time he has in Mega Man 6 these days, you gotta.
Yeah. It is that risk reward thing. Risking a death is risking the run.
Yeah.
So, but you want to take that risk, save those frames. You're saving not even a second. You're just saving frames. But you have to keep doing that. You have to keep adding up those frames, and it adds
Yeah,
up to time.
over 16 stages and, maybe 10 rooms per stage, you do a couple little frame saves in every stage, and it adds up. It becomes a lot very, very quickly.
Yes, indeed. A platformer is one where you have to make those risks. Because, there are definitely, certain games that apply to the speedrun community at large. There are, like, Metroidvania games, for example, are very popular with speedrunners because there are so many different ways to approach it. And as you were saying, you have these tactics that you learn a certain route where that is like the bulk tactic of trying to make your run work. And Metroidvania games allow you to do that, where you plan out the route you're going to take. And then after that is routed, that's when you get into the fundamental mechanical changes. That's when you get into, like, how do you save frames. So you have, like, things like Symphony of the Night. You have Super Metroid. Games like that are such, like, popular games for that purpose that, like, once somebody does find some sort of mechanical manipulation, they find some sort of fundamental mechanical exploit, then the community has changed. Like, it's a breakthrough.
Yeah, one of the things I love about speedrunning is how... So, I'm going to get a roundabout way of explaining what I'm trying to say here. The way the speedrunning community operates as a whole, as a principle, is not how fast can I go in this video game, but how fast can this video game go?
Yeah,
and that is like... It doesn't seem like a huge difference, but it's such a fundamental thing of the way you discover something. Oh my God, that's the most exciting thing. I just found a way to save 2 seconds. I need to tell everyone, and everyone needs to workshop this. Maybe there's a way to work this trick in somewhere else and find more time. And maybe all of us can collectively push this time down farther, by the sheer number of attempts the community is putting in. And just like the very cooperative nature of speedrunning is one of my favorite things about it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, because speedrunning, I'm in love with you. I'm a little intimidated sometimes. It's a very intense community because it's a very intense principle. You're taking this game, you're taking any game that you might just generally feel comfortable playing in a very kind of casual way, and you can beat the hell out of it, and that's an easy way to take it on. But then you go a step further. You say, how much can I dominate this game? How fast can this game be handled? So there's this certain sense of, like, intensity when it comes to the speedrunning community. There's a certain sense of, like, competitiveness, like a certain sort of like power that is exerted over the game.
Yeah, honestly, trying to do high-level speedruns of especially of like high input density games like Mega Man 6, it is intense. Like I talked about during Flame Man stage how much that stage hurts my hands. I was not lying, which is why I said it. But like I cannot play that stage enough times in a stream to like grind out the best time because oh my God, it hurts to do it fast, and that's the kind of commitment you have to make to speedrunning. Yeah,
absolutely. You talk about like how one handles the controller, like how one look at Mega Man X, for example. I've been historically a fan of the double tap to dash, but I'm sorry. Listen, I don't speedrun. All right, I play expeditiously perhaps, but I don't speedrun. So I'm a bit of a sinner in that regard. I do the double tap.
L dashing for life.
Yeah. Mapping the dash to the R button is the strat, I'm told. I don't do it. I'm stubborn like that.
Dirty L dashers. It's the way to be.
Going L.
I say
okay.
As a dirty L dasher myself.
Ooh, dirty.
I do
nasty.
Actually. I have speedrun one Mega Man X game. I did exactly 2 runs with no practice and no developed strats of Mega Man X 100%. I believe my time is like 1 hour and 4 minutes or something, and it's like 3rd last on the leaderboards, but that does count as a speed run, so,
hey,
we're in there.
As long as it's on the boards, it counts. But yeah, speaking of that, the idea of like this competitiveness of the community, there's also so much support that speedrunners give each other. Talking about being on the leaderboards there, 1 hour for 100%. You have various categories of runs. So you have like a low percent run, you have an 80% run, you have a 100% run, and people who do each of these runs will share their strats with each other. Now, how does one do 100% as fast as possible? And like the fact that there is simultaneously this competitive nature that is very fundamental to trying to dominate this game, at the same time that there's this this sense of community, sense of sharing and support, of people talking and sharing their strats with each other and being on forums, like just gushing on I don't know, Reddit. That's where people go on the internet, right?
I don't go anywhere near Reddit, but I think some people do.
I'm told the internet exists. But
Yeah, but like speedrunning is just this like fascinating microcosm of this just weird sort of duality of a community that's so competitive and also so cooperative at once. And I don't know how it works, but it does, and it's kind of amazing. Like I would not have stuck around this long in the speedrunning community if it was all about shaving seconds off of your time.
Oh yeah, certainly. Yeah, if it's all about this sense of pride over all else, it would be a toxic environment. But it's about, like you said, about how fast can this game be beaten? How fast can this be optimized? How much can we dissect the mechanics of this game? And yeah, it's a very analytical way to approach playing video games. And I did definitely appreciate how people can get together and look at these mechanics and look at how the game was made and look at how to optimize it and share all these tech with each other. And so it's certainly a very supportive community, and I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, the speedrunning community, by and large, is really great. The communities I'm a part of, at least, some Mega Man people, the NES Metroid community, which is another game that I run. That game is fun. And another very small indie game that I run called The Girl and the Robot has just like a couple runners, but we all work together. We get together every Sunday afternoon for our weekly race. Nice. We strat hunt together, like literally since I picked up that game second out of the 3 most active runners. And then the third runner picked it up just after me. And before us, the top time was like, low 18 minutes. Now it's below 17 minutes. Because you just had a community come together to share and to grow, and all this waxing poetic stuff about playing video games with a timer for no real reason.
As a family.
Not wrong, honestly.
Yeah. It's a very, very like community sense. Very, very familial. Very supportive. It's great. We're going to be seeing a lot of that coming up, now that we're kind of changing pace, going from the Mega Man-athon to MAGFest. We're going to be seeing a lot more variety in games, but we're going to be seeing a lot of that strat sharing now that it's becoming a more speedrun-oriented performance.
Yeah, I look forward to submitting a larger variety of stuff next year. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. It's just, like I said, I haven't speedrun anything, but I'm going to have to figure it out because I still want to be on stage at some point.